Came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
In the glitzy world of entertainment, clashes and controversies are as common as red carpets and flashing cameras. Today, we're delving into a simmering feud that's grabbed the spotlight. Snow White, the timeless tale that we all know, is getting a modern makeover in an upcoming film. But this isn't just about poisoned apples. Tensions are flaring up between Rachel Zegler, the talented actress taking on the role of Snow White, and the legendary Gal Gadot. Picture this. The Snow White we're about to witness isn't the passive princess waiting for rescue. Rachel Zegler breathes life into a Snow White who's anything but typical. No more pinning for true love's kiss. This Snow White's dream of leadership, empowerment, and a new narrative that echoes today's world. Now, here's the intriguing part. While the chatter about Snow White's fresh narrative is swirling, Gal Gadot, who is no stranger to strong female roles thanks to her portrayal of Wonder Woman, seems to be staying in her lane. Instead of diving onto the ongoing debates about the film's message, Gadot remains laser-focused on her performance and the movie itself. It's as if she's steering clear of the political whirlwind surrounding the story. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Gal Gadot's interview have taken an unexpected turn, sparking a very public and heated exchange. Rather than applauding Rachel Zegler's boundary-pushing take on Snow White, Gadot's comments suggest that she may have taken offense. This stark difference in perspective has set off a volley of impassioned back and forths between the two actresses. So how did Gal Gadot manage to humiliate Rachel Zegler? The answer lies in Gal Gadot's interviews. She seized the opportunity to critique Zegler's focus on the film's political undercuts. By doing so, Gadot has cleverly shifted the conversation away from the film's innovative direction and towards the clash of opinions between the two. Remember the saying that the pen is mightier than the sword? In this scenario, Gal Gadot's candid words have turned out to be sharper than anyone might have guessed. Her unfiltered remarks have inadvertently chipped away at Rachel Zegler's steadfast dedication to breathing new life into Snow White's story. This very public tiff has brought to the surface a divide that would have perhaps remained under wraps. Moving forward, let's delve into Gal Gadot's reaction to the swirling controversy surrounding the film. While chatter about the movie has been rampant, it's curious that Gal Gadot's stance has been one of almost complete silence. She and Rachel Zegler have made joint appearances in various interviews related to the film, mostly centered around promoting it. But it's striking how Gal Gadot has refrained from adding her voice to the discussions. In contrast, as the controversy flared up, Rachel Zegler has been on the front lines, addressing the backlash head-on. Whether in interviews or on her Twitter feed, she's been vocal about confronting the criticism and taking on those who oppose the film's direction. It's clear that Rachel is not backing down in the face of adversity. However, Gal Gadot's approach has been marked differently. She's maintained radio silence both on social media and in interviews. Notably, even Disney has weighed in on the backlash, but Gal Gadot has remained conspicuously quiet. It's an intriguing juxtaposition. As everyone else seems to have something to say about the film, Gal Gadot seems content to keep her thoughts to herself. One telling instance is an interview where the topic of the film's political undertones came up. When the question reached that point, Gal Gadot chose to step back, allowing Rachel Zegler to take the lead in responding, while Gadot herself averted her gaze. In this sea of opinions and noise, Gal Gadot remains an island of calm. While the storm rages around the film's controversial elements, she's chosen to stand apart, maintaining her own measured perspectives and avoiding being drawn into the frenzy. It's a stance that speaks volumes in a time when everyone else seems eager to share their views. Taking a step back, it's quite the amusing scenario that's unfolded. Gal Gadot's perspective isn't without precedent. Over the years, she's been quite vocal about her views on modern female characters in the media. About a month ago, she granted an interview where she candidly discussed her reservations about the portrayal of women on the big screen. In her eyes, the way women are depicted and written falls short of true celebration. Instead of honoring the diversity of women, the trend seems to lean towards making them more like men. A key point she raised was her aversion of female remakes of male-driven films. To Gadot, these adaptations come across as an attempt to transform women into male counterparts, rather than letting them shine as their authentic selves. Her alternative proposal? To create entirely new narratives that reflect the richness and complexity of women's experiences. It's an intriguing perspective that underscores the need to embrace women of all backgrounds, careers, and aspirations. If we take a closer look at the landscape of female-led films, a pattern emerges. Many of these movies are constructed around women adopting characteristics often associated with men. In other words, the idea of a strong woman is often portrayed as one who is career-focused and mirrors traditionally masculine attributes. Gadot's argument is a plea for a more holistic celebration of womanhood, acknowledging that women come in diverse forms with a range of interests and roles, be it a stay-at-home mom or a career-driven professional. The plot thickens with a recent clip from an interview featuring Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. In this intriguing exchange, the two actresses delve into the topic of Snow White. During the discussion, Rachel Zegler passionately championed the idea that the original Snow White tale was antiquated, while the upcoming film represents an evolved version that resonates with the progress of society. As the conversation unfolded, Rachel Zegler took the spotlight, passionately expressing her perspective. However, Gal Gadot was quick to shift the focus of the discussion. She steered the conversation towards the film's plot and storyline, avoiding any direct mention of the updated version being superior to the original. Gadot highlighted the film's relevance to contemporary society and the artistic narrative, skillfully sidestepping any mention of political leanings. This strategy was a prudent move, allowing her to maintain distance from the divisive political discourse. The difference in Gadot's approach became evident when compared to Rachel Zegler's fervent emphasis on the political dimensions of the film. Zegler's emphasis on politics seemed to overshadow her focus on the movie itself. This contrast showcased their divergent viewpoints and priorities regarding the film's message. Rachel Zegler's conviction that the new Snow White represents an improved version of the original tale diverges from Gal Gadot's stance. Gadot emphasized that the film's primary goal was to align with contemporary societal values rather than positioning it as a direct advancement over the past. Gal Gadot's tactic to center her discussions on the story and the artistry instead of engaging in political debates is astute. By doing so, she effectively evades potential online confrontations that could lead to divisive headlines and controversies. Gadot seems keenly aware of the power of discussing political aspects in interviews, which often fuels massive debates. However, politics undoubtedly holds a place within the realm of cinema, and films can address political themes. Ideally, these discussions could be woven into the fabric of the story itself, providing viewers with a chance to interpret the message without an immediate influence of cast members' perspectives. Gal Gadot's choice to keep interviews focused on the film's artistry rather than its political underpinnings suggests a broader understanding of how discussions around a film can affect its reception. This approach was equally evident in a recent written article interview, where Gadot talked about her role as an antagonist and the musical elements of the film. She consciously avoided delving into the story's themes or political messages, keeping the dialogue centered on the artistic aspects of the production. To add to the complexity, Rachel Zegler has taken her thoughts to social media, engaging with those critical of the film. This active engagement might have unintended consequences, impacting the film's perception. In contrast, Gal Gadot's strategic silence may actually contribute to a more peaceful release. In the grand scheme of things, there's a lesson to be learned from both approaches. Gal Gadot's focus on the film's story and artistry and her avoidance of political discussions before release could contribute to a more inclusive interpretation by the audience. Rachel Zegler's engagement, while passionate, might inadvertently stoke the fires of controversy, potentially affecting the film's initial performance. As we navigate through these differing perspectives on the political nuances of Snow White, the question remains: what's your take on the influence of political views in film? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And that's a wrap for today's analysis. Don't forget to subscribe for more such amazing content.